Hey guys, 002timmy here. I am so excited to be starting this series with you guys, talking about 50 of the top avatars, ranking them, scoring them, and really just talking about them, highlighting them, kind of seeing where their prices are at, how much they sold, and just in general the excitement that I feel for these avatars and where they rank. So I'll be doing 10 of these a week, doing the top 50 avatars, so it's a 5-week series. But I'm super excited to be talking about this. Now, the first major important part is really to describe how I came to these rankings and how I think about avatars. So, obviously, with avatars, you have the avatar art and the background. I separated those two. So, you have the actual character, you have the background, but then within that artistic quality, there are other factors like how unique is it? How much do you stand out in the comments? What is what I call the top trait? How desirable is that one trait in the avatar? How well does it match with other avatars? So that's really the artistic side of things. And then we have supply and demand. So how scarce is the avatar? Was it a 100 mint or was it a 5,000 mint? Um, or was it somewhere in the middle? And then how exclusive is it? What's the price of the avatar? How much would you need to spend in order to acquire an avatar on the open market after it sells out? So those are the supply and demand. And then there's a third aspect, which is really important to me, and I know important to other people, but it's what's the community like? So when you buy an avatar, do you have people that you can engage with, make memes with, laugh with? And then also, how involved is the artist? Because one thing that's really cool about these Reddit avatars is we know who made them, and these people, they can do airdrops, they can talk on Twitter Spaces or X Spaces now, um, and just really make people excited, play games with them. Do they do the live drawing session? So all of those things, I scored them, um, ranked them, and then we're going to talk about them. So without further ado, we will get started, and I will do Avatar ranks 50 to 41 right now. All right, so let's get going with the rankings. So first up, we have Melting by Matt XB. This avatar just came out in Gen 4. Um, right now, it has a floor price of 0.02 Ethereum. And as you can see, not too much volume. Really, as I go through this, we have the art. I think it's super unique, really captures you. So it gets a 9 for the art technique. Background, really nothing to write home about. Um, but the community, unfortunately, being a new to Gen 4 artist, it's not really up there. He hasn't really been involved, which is no fault of his, but it's just a little bit quiet. Um, on that end, nothing really stands out. I mean, the top trait I would say is probably the face, which helps you stand out in comments. It mashes really well, but it's not that premier top trait. Um, this was a um, pretty scarce one. I believe it had 200 originally were minted, um, and right now the price is not very high. Um, so overall, this one gets a score of 52. All right. Next up, we have Assembler's Echo by Conal in Space. So this one again just came out in Gen 4. Um, it was originally a $200 avatar. The floor right now is basically 1213 Ethereum. So it's been selling for pretty much right at mint price. Um, Now, when you look at this, I love the art. I think it's super cool. Unfortunately for uniqueness, it got a really low score. It's called Assembler's Echo because it mirrors exactly Conal's Gen 1 avatar that was Assembler's, which is super desirable. You guys will see it later on this list. Um, Really, there's not much community or artist involvement. Conal's been in a lot of mints, but he's not really one to get out there and do airdrops and interact. Really love his art though. And then mashing, it goes really well. It's scarcity. This was, I believe, there were only 100 or 150 mints of this. I should have taken notes before I did this. Um, and for price, it's fairly expensive at just around $200, so it's pretty exclusive. Um, for some, maybe an impulse purchase. For others, you'll probably have to save up to get it. Um, but yeah, overall, we got a score of 55. Um, Coming in at rank 48, we have The Merchant by Rojum. This again, Gen 4. Um, really, really low floor price. I believe this avatar was originally a $10 avatar, so it fell a little bit, but not too dramatically. Now, one thing I really, really love is just the art that Rojum puts into every single one of his avatars. It's really unique. I really like this little guy down here inside the dinosaur turtle shell. And then you have kind of the Russian nesting doll going up in the head. One thing that you can't see, but it is really cool that Rojum does, I think he's done it since his Gen 3 avatars, um, is hide hidden traits. So if you pair this with an avatar that you can see through, so whether that's a glass Foustling, which will come up later, there's another few avatars that you can kind of hide traits in, which is a really unique feature. There's hidden traits, which gives it for mashability, bumped it up to an 8. Um, the community is really passionate. Now, artist involvement, Rojum, it was kind of a tough one for me on where to rank him 1 through 5 because when Avatars first came out in Gen 1 and Gen 2, he was very, very active, very involved in the community. And then I'm sure life just got super busy for him, so he's kind of tapered off. But Rojum, if you see this, we want you back. Um, you were you were so much fun to hang out with it, and I know a lot of people love playing games with you, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, this avatar overall score 57. Next on the list, we have our first Gen 2 avatar, the Illusionist Foustling, by Tyler Faust. Um, this avatar, so you'll notice Faust has a very unique style, especially with his regular art, not avatars. It's all one line, so you can really get lost in the background. It's super super cool. All one line pen work um, connected. This avatar was originally a $10 avatar, minted 1,000. Um, so as far as scarcity and exclusivity, um, not too great. I mean, as a $10 avatar, the floor is still um, somewhere around 20, $30. And you can see this is the first one with a ton of volume. Um, really, really picked up during Gen 2 when people got super, super excited about avatars. Um, Faust has a pretty strong following and he's pretty involved. He's very active um, on X, showing off his artwork. He participates in airdrops. He does um, kind of a lot of artist stuff, so he got the high score there. Um, Now, for the art, this avatar not really my favorite. I still like it. It's still pretty great. A lot of lines here. I believe the head is all one line, um, and the body, but the background really, really sells this avatar. Um, so this one got a total score of a 58. So now, moving down the list, we have our first Gen 3 avatar, the Crypto King by Sys32 Template. Now, this avatar was originally a $200 avatar. Right now, it's selling for right around $250 or 1.25 Ethereum. Um, as you can see, if we can zoom, let's see if I can zoom in on this. That goes the wrong way. Um, but there is a little Bitcoin symbol in the helmet, um, which is pretty cool, pretty unique. Actually, we'll just blow it up so you guys can see the Bitcoin symbol, which makes it pretty, pretty cool. Um, oh, we got the melting. You guys can see how I did my slideshow now. All right, we'll get this back over here. Um, for the art, it's pretty cool. Nothing too eye-catching. The background pretty plain. Just a curtain. Looks like he's talking to his court. Um, Now, really for the top trait, I love the Bitcoin hat, and even just the name. It's a pretty mashable avatar. The cape and the royalty is something unique that we haven't really seen. as far as scarcity, this was a very low mint, and it's a fairly expensive avatar. Um, Coming in at 45, we have another Rojum. You guys will see his name on this list a whole bunch, as I'm sure you probably could have guessed. So this is his 1000 mint $10 avatar in Gen 2, the Sun. The art again is just fantastic. This inner circle reminds me of the One Ring. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, so this I thought was pretty cool. The floor right now is somewhere around 40, $50. So already appreciated pretty dramatically. It's fallen quite a bit actually recently, like every single avatar. Um, but still a fairly high resale price if you minted it in the shop. Um, Again, this is super, super unique, and you can really stand out. This outer ring is its own trait, um, which you can, any avatar you have, you can kind of circle around it and put yourself in the frame, which is, I think, really, really cool. And then just this background, all the stars and sky. Um, it's really cool, and I love the black and white. I know a lot of people like black and white mashups, um, so it goes really, really well there. Next on the list, so we have a few tied um, at rank 43. Um, this is Restless by Penguin. It is, again, a recent avatar. Um, Black and white, you can see. I believe it was a $200 mint to start. Right now, the floor is right around 150, so fallen a little bit from minting price. Um, but it's definitely unique. I think these are claws or some grabbing hand in the background, is a pretty unique trait that I hadn't really seen. Even the face, though, body disconnected. It's one of the more unique ones. I also love the little kitty cats crying out. Um, so it's just a fascinating avatar, really kind of pushing the boundary and being creative. Um, Also, it has some hidden traits that you guys should definitely check out. Now, the other one that came in at rank 43 is the Astronomist by Rojum. He's all over this list, but this was one of his more recent Gen 4 avatars. Um, Really, really cool art, especially in the horns of whatever this little character is. One thing that I think is kind of cool too is how the Rojum traits repeat. So if I go back to the sun, you can kind of see how the hands are done on this guy when you look at the astronomist. Very, very similar posture. Um, he also has mouths right here. So if you guys are familiar with avatars, one of the more popular, Rojum in Gen 1, had an avatar called the Malts that have this huge grin all over it. Um, and really, the mashability in Rojum's avatars, they mash so well with each other because he carries the same themes throughout, which is really, really cool and kind of makes you want to get the next generation every single time. Um, so now we have three more to go, or rather two more to go. I'm sorry, two more to go. So tied at rank 41, so we have two tied here. We have Gloop by Penguin. Now, the colors on this one are absolutely breathtaking. It's super, super cool. Um, this, again, was a super scarce one. I believe there were only 100 or 150 minted in the shop for $200, basically selling right at mint price. Um, but just, I mean, this art and how it's just so cool to me how you have all these different colors. I'm reminiscent of another avatar in Gen 4 that you guys will see later, Muse, or even a few that were in Gen 2, whether it was Awaken or Helix. But the bright colors are definitely cool. This is reminds me of a lava lamp. Um, Background's pretty cool too. Lots of stars. A lot would go really well with it, especially if you have a black and white avatar that you're mashing. Just the pop of color with the black background goes really, really well. Um, but yeah, the this face, it just every time I see it, it makes me a little bit happy and then a little bit feel a little bit trippy. So this one gets a score of a 62. And the final one today, rank 41 tied, is the Eye Eater by Rojum. So, like I said, you have the eye here, which another popular avatar he had in Gen 1, and then you can see it's the eye and then the mouth around the eye, so it was named perfectly. Um, this one's super, super cool. I believe I want to say it was $100 avatar. Um, but not a whole lot of mints. It's minting for a little bit under mint price, um, at 0.034 Ethereum. Um, but really, you can see the eye up there. You can see the eye around the mouth here. So just see the mouth there, and then let's see. I don't think he did it there. No. So really ties back into the Gen 1 um, themes that he had going on, which I think is super, super cool, super interesting. Um, but yeah, those are the Eye Eater. So that was the first 10 um, avatars that we're going to talk about. Um, Next week, next Friday, I will be next Friday. So it is Tuesday this week. This video will post on Friday, and then the following Friday we have ranks 40 through 31 coming. So if you like this video, if you want to see your favorite avatars, you think I'm an idiot and one of those avatars should be higher ranked, definitely feel free to comment. But like and subscribe the videos. I'll be coming out with this for the next 5 weeks. Um, as always, guys, keep smiling. I hope that avatars also make you happy. But with that, we will go and continue, and everyone enjoy your weekend.